Welcome, Bitch Mams Review, episode 7. There's a lot to unpack in this. There is a whole host of terrible writing. There are terrible stereotypes. There are terrible, just some bizarre depictions of genders and things like this in this episode as well. First things first, being from Great Britannia, I thought I would give everyone my take on the British addition to this show. Ms. Pennyworth, Julia Pennyworth. She talks a bit like this, mate. Yeah, a bit oi, yeah, livid, bah. Bit like that. Atrocious. My God, why does every British person have to be a stereotype in shows in America? You don't get it in the UK. Not every American that turns up in a British sitcom or a British soap sounds like a yank twat, right? So it does become just a little bit insulting. We're always a bit like this, mate. Whoa! Fuck off. It's ridiculous. So look, I had to get that off my chest because that was the most irritating part of this entire episode. Batwoman is going to be opening a gay bar in the next episode. So there's not an awful lot that happens in this episode. And I know it's strange, right? Because we've got Julia Pennyworth, she rocks up. We've got an assassin that rocks up. We've got Alice and Mouse doing a bit of dodgery and stuff like that going on. We've also got a divorce happening. There's all this stuff happening in the background, but nothing actually happening in the episode. It's very, very poorly written. So, not overly sure what this episode was about or what it was trying to tell us. Kate Kane, in the first episode, is a lesbian and has a lesbian love interest in the military. And we've got some flashbacks to that here and there throughout the first episode, and it's been seeping through. The lesbian love interest now works for the Crows. But that's been rising to the surface again the last few episodes. And it bubbled up right to the top in this one. So much so that they sort of announced it to everyone, but then sort of didn't. The lesbian love interest obviously now is a husband, because, you know, that's part of the course these days. When we talk about diversity and equality, apparently, you know, it's okay to lie to men that you're married to, that you used to be a lesbian, and that was, you know, a huge part of your life, and that you're still in love with your ex-lesbian lover. I mean, that's okay, apparently, for diversity's sake. I mean, just your moral compass is a little bit skewed if you think that is okay. It's not okay. So that bubbled to the surface, and then got pushed to the bottom of the surface by the end of the episode. Very odd. So let's break it down in the best way possible, because there's a lot that goes on in this episode, but not a lot actually happens. It's all set up for the next one. So we open with a few murders happening. The Rifle is a hitman, an assassin that's been hired to go and kill off a bunch of scientists. These scientists have made a particle accelerator that can destroy and pierce the Bitchman's suit. The plot thickens. Oh, what is happening? There's something afoot, and all this kind of trash. Now, this is where we meet Julia Pennyworth, who instantly knows who is behind the Bitchman's costume, because she taught Kate Kane a particular move. However, in this epically choreographed fight, she chooses to bounce over the top of a car bonnet. Why? When she wasn't even beside the car, she was in front of it, but she got pushed to the side to go over the car bonnet to then beat up Batwoman. Now, bearing in mind, they were both trying to save the same scientist here, but they stopped to fight one another because reasons? Now, obviously, the assassin gets away, as does the scientist. That's terrible writing. It makes them both look massively incompetent and very, very stupid. Especially seeing as we learn that Julia Pennyworth, mate, yeah, is part of like a big agency. So she works for an agency, and yet she loses her target. Bear in mind, her target was legitimately all tied up, ready to go, but lost the target because she wanted to fight Bitchmams. Epic writing. So very good. But obviously she figures out who Bitch Mams is, and then comes marching into the Batcave. Luke Fox knows who Julia Pennyworth is, and it's all like this big reunion. There you go. They work together a little bit in this episode. She dons the bat suit to get shot by a particle accelerator, and also to fool the lesbian love interest in the fact that it's not Kate Kane behind the Batwoman costume, because that's a running theme in this one, is that the lesbian love interest was going to tell Kate Kane's father, the leader of the Crows, who Bitch Mams was. Because there's got to be some drama. So obviously this is all just plot device. You know, we get this new woman that comes in, who, bearing in mind, also had a thing for Kate Kane in the past. It's like they've created this character of Kate Kane, and they've just gone, right, let's make her the best character ever, right? She's awesome. Everyone loves her. Literally, everyone loves her. Julia Pennyworth had a thing for her, wanted to get in her pants, or probably did. So did this new lesbian love interest, or the old lesbian love interest. And also as well, Kate Kane is apparently so skilled with ranged weapons and ballistics that she can apparently be steaming drunk from the night before, not even try and break all records at a military school, or a school for the military, whatever you want to call it. Yet we've never seen her be any of this stuff. We're just told it. That's bad writing. Don't tell me how good this person is, show me. Because all you've given me is a whiny little bitch mams. That's it. There's nothing compelling. You know, don't tell me how good she is, show me how good she is. Nothing that you have done has indicated that she is anything but a moron. Everyone knows her identity. Bearing in mind, Luke Fox as well. It's like Luke Fox had a personality transplant in this episode. The first few episodes, Luke Fox was literally telling Bitch Mams, no one should know your identity, no one should know this, no one should know that, Bruce Wayne never did that, Bruce Wayne never did this, blah 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 blah. Kate Kane's like, should I tell my old lesbian love interest that I'm Bitch Mams? Yeah, you should be real with her. Sorry, what? What? Did you forget what you wrote, writers? Did you forget? Did you forget the first few episodes? Because he's had a transplant of personalities. It's so bad. Then this leads me on to this. Bitch Mams gets with the old former love interest at a restaurant, Alessandro's, presumably Italian. And we've got to throw in some LGBT agendas in here as well, because as if there wasn't enough, you know, with two lesbian love interests already in this particular episode, as if there wasn't enough of that with everything else that was going on, because I've already said there's a lot going on in this episode. But we also had to have the owner of Alessandro's seeing Kate Kane holding the hands of this woman across the table, not actually saying anything, bearing in mind. So quite, you know, women do this. They don't have to be, you know, licking each other's clams and all of this kind of crap. Smashing each other's pasties. They don't have to be doing that. Women do this. You know, they console one another. But he instantly saw this, and his gaydar went off, and he was like, right, there's some lezers right there. I'm going to go for it. Get out my restaurant, basically. Like the most caricaturesque people in the world. Like, how did he know? He didn't know. Because there was nothing that gave it away. They literally just held one another's hands across the table. They weren't kissing. They weren't playing footsie. They weren't touching one another outside of their hands. Could have easily been consoling one another. But this man's gaydar, oh, it went off. It went beep, 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 beep. Oh, beep. I'm for it. I know these people. That's it. They've been chowing down on the salty clams. Fuck. Like, who's writing this trash? It's just so bad. Literally nothing happens. Nothing happens. Alice steals the ballistic weapon. Alice steals the ballistic cartridge of something to do with this particle accelerator that could have destroyed Bitch Mam's costume to save Bitch Mams, because she then wants to obviously throw an epic tea party for them all. I don't know why. It doesn't doesn't really matter. It's just so poorly executed. Everyone loves Kate Kane, though. Everyone loves this charisma vacuum, this black hole of emotion, this void of personality. And we've never seen it. It's just so lame. So remember, we're talking about all of the sort of agenda stuff in this. Talking about all the LGBTQ, come to terms with your own identity and all this kind of stuff. Which, yeah, I get. I'm sure that's obviously a big issue for some people. So they're spending this entire episode, bitch mams and her old love interest, like, talking about getting together and how they still love one another and all this kind of stuff. Then Kate Kane, by the end of the episode, convinces the other one, no, I'm not interested in you, whatever. She then goes back to her husband and is like, oh, you're the only one for me. Literally, as narration is going over the top, indicating that she's just lying to him. Why is this okay? Who is this show for? What are you trying to preach? It's so bad. It's so bad. Anyway, I'm glad you guys still enjoy my Bitch Mams reviews. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, leave a like. Please do share it. Please do like the video. It does help me out an awful lot, I think. I'm not sure how YouTube works these days. I am going to be away for the next few days, so expect a weird lack of videos, or I don't know if I'm going to be able to make any content at all. I'm not here, basically. Apologies. Something has come up. It is what it is. Soz. But anyway, I've been Miss H. Take care.